Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, today inshallah we are going to complete what we started the last time about factorizing trinomial. I explained the last time what is the meaning of factorizing and what is the meaning of trinomial, and we knew that how to find the factorization of a trinomial. Let's remember what we studied the last time. In the trinomial x power 2 plus 8x plus 15, this expression is a trinomial because it has how many terms? Yes, 3 terms. So we can factorize x power 2 as x and x. And look at the sign of the last term or of the absolute term. The last time is positive, so the 2 terms have the same sign of the middle term. What about 15? We have to find 2 numbers, their product 15 and their sum is 8. Yes, I can hear you, 3 and 5. So x power 2 equals x and x, or x multiply x, and 15 3 times 5, and the sign like the sign of the middle term, so positive and positive. Another one, x power 2 minus 17x plus 16. Also we can factorize x power 2 as x and x. What about the last term? The last term is positive, so the 2 terms are like, and the sign of each as the sign of the middle. The middle term is negative, so negative, negative. What about 16? I want 2 numbers. Their product equals 16 and their sum equals 17. 2 and 8? No. 2 plus 8 equals 10. What about 4? 4 times 4? 4 times 4, the sum of 4 and 4 equals 8. What about 1 times 16? Yes, 1 times 16. So 1 times 16 equals 16, and the sum of 1 and 16, 1 plus 16 equals the middle term, which is what? Which is 17. So we can factorize x power 2 as x and x. The last term is positive, so the 2 signs are like, and each of them is the sign of the middle. The middle is negative, so negative, negative. What about 16? 16, 1, and 16. Another trinomial, x power 2 plus 5x minus 14. Also we can factorize x power 2 as x and x, so x and x. What about the sign of the last term? The last term is negative, so the 2 signs are different. One of them is positive and the other is negative, so negative and positive. What about 14? I want 2 numbers. Their product 14 and the difference of them is 5. 2 times 7? Yes, 2 times 7. So 2 and 7. But what is the sign of 2 and what is the sign of 7? Which is greater, 2 or 7? 7. So 7 takes the sign of the middle. The middle is positive, so 7 is positive and the 2 is negative. Another trinomial, x power 2 minus 3x minus 10. We can factorize also x power 2 as x and x. X power 2 as x and x. What about the sign of the last term? The last term is negative, so the 2 signs are different, positive and negative. But what is the sign of the greatest? The greatest number will take the sign of the middle term. The middle is negative, so the biggest number will take negative. What about 10? I want 2 numbers. Their product equals 10 and the difference of them equals 3. Yes, 2 and 5, because 5 minus 2 equals 3, and the sign of 5 is negative because 5 is greater than 2, so 5 is negative and 2 is positive. Let's complete the factorization of trinomial. Factorize 1 x power 2 plus 5x y plus 6y power 2. We can notice that x power 2, y power 2. Oh yes, we can factorize x power 2 as x and x. What about y power 2? Yes, also y and y. We can factorize x power 2 as x and x. What about y power 2? It will be y and y. And complete our factorization. What about the last term? The last term is positive, so the two signs are similar. The sign of each will be positive as the sign of the middle term. What about 6? I want two numbers. Their product equals 6 and their sum equals 5. Their product equals 6 and their sum equals 5. Yes, I can hear you. 2 and 3. So we can factorize x power 2 plus 5xy plus 6y power 2, x power 2 as x and x, y power 2 as y and y. 6 is positive, so the two signs are similar. Each of them will be as the sign of the middle term will be positive. So positive, positive. 6, I'll factorize 6 into 2 and 3 because the sum of 2 and 3 equals 5 and 2 times 3 equals 6. Another one. Factorize x power 4 plus 9x power 2 plus 18. If the first term is x power 2, so I can factorize it as x and x. If the first term is x power 4, so we can factorize it as what? As x power 2 and x power 2. What about the sign of the last term? Positive, so the two signs are similar and each of them will be as the middle term. The middle term is positive, so positive and positive. What about 18? I want two numbers. Their product 18 and their sum is 9. Yes, 1 times 18, no, 1 plus 18 equals 19. 2 times 9, no, 2 plus 9 equals 11. 3 and 6, yes, because 3 plus 6 equals 9, so 6 and 3. Another one. X power 4 minus 8x power 2 plus 15, like number 2. We can factorize x power 4 as x power 2 and x power 2. What about the last term? The last term is positive, so the two terms are like. What about the sign of each? As the sign of the middle. The middle is negative, so negative, negative. What about 15? I want two numbers. Their product 15 and their sum is 8. Yes, 15 equals 3 multiply 5. And 3 plus 5 equals 8, so 5 and 3. Another one. Negative 10 plus x power 2 plus 3x. In each trinomial, we have to start with the biggest power, x power 2, x power 4, x power 4. So we have to rearrange this trinomial. We will write it as x power 2 plus 3x minus 10. X power 2 plus 3x minus 10. So we can factorize x power 2 as x and x. What about the last term? The last term is negative, so the two signs are different. One of them is positive and the other is what? The other is negative. What about 10? I want two numbers. Their product 10 and their difference equals 3. Yes, 2 times 5. Which of them is positive? The greatest takes the sign of the middle. The middle is positive, so 5 will be positive and 2 will be negative. Another one. A power 4 plus 1 a power 2 b power 2 minus 56b power 4. The coefficient of the middle term is 1. So we can factorize a power 4 as what? As a power 2 and a power 2. What about b power 4? Like number 1. It will be b power 2 and b power 2. What about the sign of the last term is negative, so positive and negative. What about 56? I want two numbers. Their product 56 and the difference between them is 1. 56 equals 7 times 8, so 7 and 8. Which of them is the biggest? 8 is the biggest, so take the sign of the middle. So 8 is positive and 7 is negative. Your homework, inshallah, book page 4, numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Have a nice day and thank you.